Three, two, one. Well, welcome to the first episode of the Heavy Breathing Podcast. Called because I have been told that I breathe very heavily. And I don't even know it until I listen to the playback after. So this podcast, I guess, is mainly gonna be me talking to myself. I would hope to hopefully get some guests in the future, friends, family. As far as its purpose, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to do something. Maybe it's just boredom. Maybe I'm trying to realign my goals. But I just gotta do something. Freaking feel like shit. Guess let me introduce myself. My name is Daniel. Let's say Daniel A for now. I'm 35. I am currently working at Amazon as a warehouse associate. Moving boxes, driving forklifts, shit like that. You know, the dream. Guess I'm totally not exactly where I thought I'd be. I would say since I was in middle school, I assumed I would I guess just way different place. Let's say the exact opposite spectrum. Totally cocky, very cocky growing up, very arrogant. I guess I could blame my parents, but not just my parents, teachers. I got good grades. I was valedictorian of my high school. Not very hard. It was a very small school, a military school. Only 250 students, I think was my I think only 50 people were in my graduating class, but it was very small, and I somehow became valedictorian, but yeah, not a very high standard. However, ate up the attention, ate up the accolades, let it go to my head for sure. I guess I always thought that by the 30 I'd be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. Reggie, stop. That is Reggie. Freaking dog of the house. Reggie, come. Up. Up. Anyway, valedictorian, went to college, where my dad went to college. Well, actually, where he got his master's degree. He's way more accomplished than me, but I guess I was thinking that I was following him. Hey, stop it, you. By going to the same school, heard it was a good school, excelled in math and science, I suppose, and I was interested in, I guess since I was a very little kid, I always wanted to be an inventor, like making things out of cardboard, doodling. I wouldn't say I was very technically prone, but I guess I liked the Jetsons and liked cartoons, so I figured I would learn all that shit in college. Didn't exactly know what I would do specifically. Stop. So I don't know. My dad told me that they had an engineering program, so I just applied there. Didn't know what degree specifically. I didn't know there were so many engineering degrees. Thought it was all one big umbrella, but I had to pick a major, and I didn't really know, so I vaguely picked industrial engineering because I assumed that was industry. I think that was the general gist of that one. I knew that mechanical would have been more specific for like making cars and stuff, but I guess I wasn't really interested in cars. I just was more interested in like robots and shit, like things you would see in sci-fi movies and stuff. But I figured that all engineering would teach you that. But anyway, my error indeed. However, even when I was in college, I didn't really, I mean, I got okay grades, didn't drop out, almost dropped out second year. I got really into comedy, started watching a bunch of videos online. A lot of George Carlin, a lot of Bill Hicks, a lot of Doug Stanhope. Just ate up comedy, second year, was taking thermodynamics. Almost failed all my classes that quarter except for one material science laboratory. And I guess at the end of that quarter, instead of dropping out, I feel like I should have dropped out. I'd already made I made the handful of friends I was going to make that first not really a social person. But I definitely was interested in comedy after consuming it, so probably should have dropped out right then, that second year. But I guess I figured I would at least have a job if I got a degree, and then I could, pursue the creative shit on my free time. Free time, that's what they always say. Whoops. But, so graduated 2011, 5 years in, I guess, because that delay of almost failing and then doing a summer program and taking a quarter off delayed me. Probably could have finished in 4 years, but was being sluggish and not really wanting it. But I just figured like I had to do it. And plus, they always say people finish in 5, so I kind of took that to my advantage and just let myself finish in 5. After that, pretty much meandered. I was had one career job directly out of college. A year later, I got a job as an industrial engineer for a glass manufacturer that made windshields. Gafoglio Family Metal Crafters, I remember. And lost that job in about 6 weeks. I being damn, signed on with a $50K salary. Was feeling like hot shit, but honestly, hated it. I mean, not just the commute. The commute was about an hour to Fountain Valley. I was living in Pomona. Hated it. But also the job just didn't interest me. I mean, industrial engineering turns out is more about efficiency. And I guess the small part of that I would have been interested in would have been the human factors ergonomics study, but there wasn't really a concentration in that at my school. There were a few classes which I took, and I loved those classes. Loved CAD classes. Probably should have done some kind of certificate or something in product design, which I did a few years later. But, well, a few classes. But that was a private school, and it would have been like $2,000 a semester. And I was already taking student loans for that first college experience, so I was not interested in paying for blah, 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 for a product design degree later on. But probably should do that if it's still possible, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, lost that job. Loved the paychecks. $1,000 a month, or $1,000 a week. Fuck. Jeez, that's like 2 paychecks nowadays for me. But after that, pretty much stint positions 6 months or less, honestly. Lab technician, tutor. There's 2014, no job at all. 2015, after the long gap in work, finally got a job at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And honestly, I really hated it. fucking hated it. Honestly, the people were fine, but I guess I still had that arrogance chip on my shoulder. I wasn't really looking at the rest of the world. I was just looking at myself and I just thought should be been in a better place, and I wasn't, and hated, was miserable. Eventually after a few months, I kind of was grateful because, I had a whole year I didn't have a job despite my degree. Was getting these shitty lab technician jobs. So the fact that I finally got any job, I was grateful. And also I saw everybody working around me even older people, 40, 50-year-olds, working as cooks, working as cashiers, paying for their mortgages, paying for their shit. And, living life. It's like Jeff Goldblum says in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. That's true even of the uneducated or in poor people. I am poor. We raise poor too. It's not like I got a grant or anything for school, student loans, parents help, And even like when I was in school or a little bit after, I kind of was stupidly blaming my parents for forcing me into school, but like nobody forced me into school. That's like the direction that every parent wants for their kid, and they just want what's best, and I thought I was best too. Honestly, it's almost like I just took the path of least resistance. I thought it'd be easy because school was easy for me. High school was just a box checking exercise. Do the homework, pass the class. It was that simple, honestly. I always revel in the arrogance of being told I'm smart or, can you help with this, blah, blah, blah. But I never really thought of myself as smart, just doing, meeting people in college, people who are really excelled and really have an aptitude for education or certain things, and those are the smart people, I guess I don't know. I feel like I'm average, if not less than average. But definitely didn't think of myself as such at the time. Not to look down at myself, but maybe I guess I gotta figure a way out of this hole. I consider Amazon, and not to put anybody down who's there or whatever, it's just entry level, I didn't need a degree to work there, but I am working there. Between that, I was working Uber, and honestly, to be honest, I would have loved doing Uber. Still, meet a lot of people, work on your own hours. Honestly, I should have saved more money. Make about $1,000 a week, which is about the same I was making, and I guess the cost of the car. But as long as I kept the car intact, then it would have been fine. If you know me, I have a problem keeping a car. 2016, I got my first car. Well, I got my first car in 2012 when I got my first job, Ford Fiesta. And then 2016, I stupidly was driving recklessly. Not even drunk, but just angry. I was angry about some stupid shit. And I overtook a left turn, crashed my car, totaled it. And then after that, I had a few cars that I got on. Well, I got a car that I got on that thing called OfferUp. And that shit was, honestly, it taught me how that's how I learned manual transmission. So that was because I thought of it as a learning opportunity. Of course, I should have probably just kept the brand new Fiesta that I had, but, didn't have a choice in that matter. It was totaled, couldn't do anything about it. Luckily, had insurance, so got covered the finances, which later on you'll hear that insurance is important. I feel like it's a shit, but I guess it is important. But, so, Learned manual transmission from a 1992 Toyota. What was it? I don't know what it was. Toyota. It was a Toyota 1992 something. I'll go back to that maybe some other time. But learned manual transmission from that. Sold it off. A friend of mine helped me sell it off for $100 more than I bought it, which I bought it for $400. Radiator kept acting up, so eventually I just sold it for $100 more. They probably replaced the radiator. Probably worked fine. Probably should have kept that car. But anyway, I wanted a bigger car. Eventually bought a... What did I do? I think it was then that I bought a van. Might have been later. I know I bought a van eventually. But then my dad helped me out, co-signed a Prius with me, and drove that for about a year with Uber. Was making the payments, fixed my credit, switched it, traded it in for a red Prius. Only my name. My credit was good again. It's feeling good. In mid 2017, fucked up. Was, to be honest, I had not a lot of sleep. I had woken up early that day, about 4 a.m., was hanging out with friends, partying, went to have dinner that night, dropped off a friend around 5 a.m., have like a micro nap while driving home, literally a block from my house, crashed the car into a street light. Total that car. God. Jesus Christ. I really don't think I consider it more a fault from not sleeping. So it's very bad. It's feeling bad again. I think I might have bought the van after that, but no. That was just shitty. Crazy thing, that red Prius was gone. I had helped my brother get a black Prius. I helped co-sign with him because he wanted to do Uber too. He didn't like it, so he didn't want the Prius anymore. It was like $500 a month payment. But so since we were co-signed, I said I'll just take over it. And okay, sounds good. Took over the payments. Was doing great. Working Uber still. Making payments on that. That was... So the red Prius was 2017, July. But bro didn't get that 2018 Prius until, I think, March of the next year. So that time I had like a van. I might have had some other car. And then we had the Prius when he didn't want it anymore, probably a year later. And then I was doing fine, working Uber 2018, 2019. Stopped working at KFC. Was on good terms with people there. Just left. And then, right on the cusp of COVID, February 10th, T-boned, not exactly T-boned, but hit during an intersection, 2020, lost the Prius, the black Prius. Well, actually, I didn't technically lose it. It's technically in my garage at the moment. Well, this is my parents' house. But, I heard the engine's still intact. It just needs to be repaired. But the repairs, from a friend of mine, who's a very good mechanic, I would trust him. He said the repairs would be more than the car was worth, or at least whatever. He said it'd be about $10,000, which definitely don't have that right kind of cheddar right now. But it is in the garage, and maybe it can be fixed. Who knows? Maybe I'll save it in a year or so. Who knows? Yeah. Excuse. I guess these first 20 minutes are just me talking about my past, eh? Didn't really want to, but I guess just letting you know a little bit about me, what I like. Anyway, after the unable to drive for Uber anymore, applied for unemployment, right on the cusp of COVID. COVID strikes, I'm able to get the unemployment benefit, ride that out until September 2021. And that was awesome. Probably should have saved that too. God. Jesus. I have all the, I am very lucky, but I always just revel in my hedonism. I guess I would say I'm a hedonist more than anything else. I like doing things that are fun, that I enjoy. I probably should do things that are more productive for my goals, or my supposed goals. Since I was interested in comedy, I wanted to do comedy. I wanted to be involved in comedy. Kind of skimmed past this, but in 2014, I started a YouTube channel with a friend of mine. That was fun. Kept up with it pretty regularly, weekly kind of thing. We didn't really have a lot of views, but it was just fun to hang out with my friend and make stuff that we thought was fun, snarky, clever, very poorly produced stuff. I still love doing that because it forced us to go out, because we had these interview segments of this show that we did, and during that time I was working as a lab technician in Anaheim, and it was right next to a coffee house that had open mics, so I was doing open mics pretty regularly for about 6 months straight, probably for 2 or 3 times a week. And as much as I sucked, I felt like I was excited going. I was excited thinking of jokes. It was fun to show material. It was fun being scared, and then, seeing some progress, at least to myself, over time. It was kind of scattershot. I should have probably focused on more developing stuff. I kind of just tried to make new material every time I went up, but sometimes I would refine stuff, and stuff would get better or would get consistent laughs. And of all my degree and all that stuff, it's like I was probably happiest and most proud of myself when I was doing that, because it's something I wanted to do, and I was doing it. And even like I had that stupid lab technician job, I was figuring a way to do it, and it's starting at the bottom, and everyone's shitty open micers, and there's really great people there too who are still doing it strong, and I wish I was still doing it. I wish I still did it. Since then, that was 2013, so it's been 8 years since I think the last time I did it was probably 2015, 2016. Not as consistent as before, because that job was only a 6-month contract, but I'm going to try to find open mics again, because I guess it's pathetic to say so, but I really want to do it again. And even if I can just do it just to do it, it's like just to do it so I don't hate myself or something. I don't know. Like, people, what do you want from it? It's like, what are you wasting your time, your gas? It's like, I don't know, I guess if I can start getting like YouTube videos or like some short films or like some kind of outlet like going, then maybe it won't be necessary to go out. But I really loved doing it at the time, live comedy. So maybe I'll just have to try to do that again somehow, to just, like myself. I like myself. Like, maybe that's the problem, that like I'll always love myself no matter up or down. But like, I want to love my life, and I love my life the way it is right now. I've had ups and downs, and I'm in some strife, and I don't feel like, not PC to say retarded, but it's like I'm not mentally incapable, or maybe I am. Maybe like I have some kind of mental psychological block. I don't want to believe that shit. I don't have the time. Haven't made the time to go see a counselor. Maybe there's some kind of mental block, but I'm not gonna scapegoat it and say I have something wrong with me where I can't do something. My brother was always saying that it's like fear of failure. But I remember failing a lot when I was doing stand-up, and even I wouldn't consider our YouTube thing a success with my friend. We stopped doing it. He lost interest after a while, and I stopped doing it because of him, but I should have kept doing it because I like doing it. But I guess I always find motivation doing things in a group or like collaborating, but I need to get some self-esteem, I need to spark myself out of atrophy. I don't know if that's the right word. Apathy, maybe? I mean, not really religious. I wouldn't say I'm religious at all, honestly. I believe in the goodness of humanity, despite the world that we live in now. I'm not going to get into, I don't really want this thing to be like a sad sack, kind of like, woe is me, like sad thing. It's just, I'm just talking about like my current state of life and how I think of it and where I want to go. I guess this is a very aspirational podcast. And I guess despite the joke that it's called heavy breathing because of my heavy set stature and me having breathing problems, I do want to start exercising because definitely probably the biggest I've ever been, about 250, 260. If I can get back down to 180, like post-college, that was probably my perfect weight, as supposedly according to the BMI people or calculations online and all that shit. If I can lose that, I'm going to try to do some at least weekly exercise. There was a time when I had gotten up around this before and then I switched to water, was counting my calories, did exercise daily for a good 3-4 months straight and was able to go down to like 187, 85 maybe. I was also proud of myself then too. I guess if it's something that I do for myself, and by myself, then I feel very proud. I guess maybe that's a common thing. That's a stupid thing to say. But I know I can do it again. And I guess it's just hard for me to start. It's always just breaking the habit of the hibernation, I suppose. I like to make up stupid alliterations. I can't help it. But I guess whatever. So don't want this to be like a sorry sack. I mean, I do want to talk candidly, authentically. I don't think I'll have an audience or anything, but I'm just talking into the void. Maybe this is just going to be like a diary keeping exercise. But I mean, if I do get any viewers, if anybody's interested, leave a comment or whatever. Like and subscribe. No, I don't care. Don't like, don't subscribe. But, ask me a question. I'm pretty candid in reality. Try to be as honest as I can. So, as we go, if anybody's interested, if anybody's out there listening, then feel free to hit me up. But anyway, I still got another half an hour. I'm going to try to do the controversial comedian Chris D'Elia. He does an hour. He's just by himself. He is a comedian, so he's professional. Maybe he has the chops to do a solo podcast. But I guess I'll give it a try. Man, more yawning shit. But, so yeah, I want this to be an aspirational endeavor, maybe, hopefully on a weekly basis. And then I can, update with things I'm doing, projects I'm working on, brainstorm out loud, At the moment, there's a film festival that I guess I have about a month to finish this thing. Still in the brainstorming stage. It's for an online music thing, music bed challenge. Film festival. I'm trying to participate in it. At the moment, just got to lock down the script and then shoot it. I'm going to try to shoot 2 submissions. My brother is very creative. Honestly, he's probably the most talented one in our family. He's very musically proficient. Honestly, he's very proficient in a lot of things. But I guess he's also pragmatic, and I don't think he believes in himself enough to put himself out there. He is slowly doing it digitally, putting things on YouTube, and if I can definitely use his stuff to help my stuff, then that'll just be a good asset for myself, because he's very good. He's a very good painter, artist, And he's also super critical on himself, but also on me. So that's actually very good. Puts my feet to the fire, being like, what are you doing? It's been like years, honestly. It's like, he's like, what are you doing with your life? And as much as I get angry when we fight about it, because it's like, I don't see him that often. So when I do see him and he says it, I just kind of get a little angry, because it's like, we're not going to do that right now, are we? But it's like, maybe we should do it together. Like, I know he wants us to do it together. And he just wants me to like stir out of this chrysalis I've been in, if I'm going to call it that. If this is the first stage of something greater, of a metamorphosis, then I gotta shake myself out of this cocoon, you know? Or start spinning it around me, or whatever the fuck the analogy is. So, yeah. Just wanna do stuff. I want to do stuff with my life, things that I want to do. I don't want to be moving motherfucking boxes the rest of my fucking life. Nothing wrong with that, but I know people there don't want to do it. They want to grow too, or, you know, it's just state of the world and all that shit. I mean, I don't want to get into that right now, but it is crazy to think of, like, just, I don't know. Anyway, as far as, yeah, goals, they got that film festival I'm going to try to convene in. Gonna try to do a regular exercise routine. Supposed to start the 1st of January. But the 1st of January I was supposed to start, and then subsequently every month I've been trying to start the beginning of the month, which I have not. Oops. No real reason for it before. The reason was because the garage was cluttered, and now it's clear. It's ready for me to go. Always find a reason to, tired of working, tutoring other people, or just, that's not an excuse really, because I have like a few hours before I have to go to sleep every day, and could literally just put 1 hour like I used to every day on the elliptical. And that's the thing, where it was like, it wasn't even hard to lose the weight when I first lost the weight. I just did it every day. That's it. I made it a habit, and then just did that habit every day. And it's not like I even cut out drinking or anything. I didn't really drink beer, so those calories aren't there, but I do drink a lot of liquor and stuff. Although at that time, I wasn't drinking that much liquor. I was smoking probably more than anything else. But, yeah, I just gotta get these habits going again. It's like, everyone always says, or at least even my brother says, just do it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And that's what everybody says. Comedians say, just keep going up on open mics. You get better. Practice makes perfect. I believe that too. And I just gotta get to the practice. It's like, what am I waiting for? And I guess I never felt the urgency, because I don't feel the effects of aging as old as I am. I'm 35. But maybe in my mindset, maybe since I've been stunted mentally, maybe I've mentally stunted myself by not like developing career-wise. I've just been stuck in this wanting to do something stage. So maybe mentally I'm still 25. But, I mean, whatever. If that's the case, maybe that's me being showing like a sign of mental retardation. But I guess that I'll use it as an asset, is in being some kind of youthful engine for hopefully these pursuits I can hopefully do. It's like maybe my brother's right, and maybe a lot of people are right, because not him only. I have a friend who says the same thing, who just money, when you have so much money, you can just do more stuff, and then like you'll be happy. That'll make you happy. And maybe it will, because I'm saying I'm in my life mostly a consumer of media, consumer of gadgets that I like, toys that I like, So it's like, when am I going to start creating? And I guess I create little things here and there. A lot of it's just design, feng shui. But like, if I want to start, if I'm going to make creation a part of my life, then I got to get to it, man. I got to get that habit in there. It's like, I don't want to be like I don't want to be 100 years old. Not that I would live that long, but no one's going to start living their life when they're like halfway through their life. Although you could say that maybe I'm already middle-aged. Maybe. Maybe, I guess if 70 is when I die, I'm already halfway there. At midlife crisis. But if my midlife crisis is just to make my other midlife a different life, then fuck it. I gotta try. Gotta try, god damn it. Gotta try, god damn it. Whew. I mean, which is why I have the background today as space galaxy explosion. I was trying to find a Big Bang explosion picture, but they're all, what are they called? Watermarked. So, since this is the beginning of hopefully something, I wanted to be the Big Bang. I wanted to have the Big Bang. I wanted to have themes of, creation and initiation. That's probably the wrong word. But, yeah. And hopefully maybe to pad this stuff out, maybe I'll try to I was originally going to do this, a few weeks ago, back when April Fool's was. And then I was going to do it, I think that was the week of the Oscars slap. Will Smith slapped to Chris Rock, which was so fucking, if I'm going to talk like current events, it's like, god damn. It's like, how can you instantly not like somebody? Where you used to like, this guy was cool. And then now it's like, what a piece of shit. I guess maybe since I like comedy so much, I empathize with the comedian and am protective and thinking of somebody as like a jock, popular guy. Will Smith, somebody that everybody likes. I mean, even I liked him. And then he's going to do something like that because of a joke. And it's like, it wasn't even a joke that was... I'm saying, people can say they're hurtful for anything, but it's like, it wasn't even an alopecia. It was a visual joke. If somebody looks like somebody, that's just a comparison. It's like a simile. I mean, shit. And then just humiliating him, and it's like, yeah. And then I didn't even know that much shit about his family and his wife's situation and all that weird stuff. But I mean, that's all his shit. And it's like, he's gonna just, I guess, just thought it was stupid. Just, who cares, I guess. Who cares if a celebrity, loses grace or loses face towards, I guess, people that like them. Whatever. It's not that important. Definitely not important. Speaking of Reggie. Not even my pet. My sister's pet. Sister's dog. Maybe I don't like animals. I mean, I'm fine with animals. Never really wanted a pet. I guess I'm just too selfish, too self-concerned to be worrying about somebody else. Always feel it's distracting. Also, the cleanup. This is just a random tangent to try to fill up time, but, I can see why people are fond of animals. Easy to, bounce your feelings off of them. Not feel so alone because they're stirring and making things mess for you to, not go crazy. So, I guess I can kind of say I can understand people a little more because I used to try to... I don't think I ever said it. I was trying to figure out a way to say it on stage where I wanted to just akin. I mean, it's not even original at this point, but akin pet owners to slave owners, or just more admit that I don't like pets or I hate pets. It's fuck not fuck animals, but just Why are you gonna have an animal? I mean, all those animal pets, and it's a joke, but like, I was trying to come off of it very seriously, and I don't know if I don't think I never did it because I could never figure out a way to make it work. It's like, how are you gonna shit on animal owners or pets even, and come out the good guy? Or even, I guess you have to come at it from an angle. But that's always the challenge, to try to make it funny. So, from what a friend of mine was telling me, that she met a comedian friend who I guess plays he performs at this Irish pub about 20 minutes away from here. I'm not sure if it's an open mic or if it's like a planned show, but I'm going to try to inquire about it, because if it's an open mic, definitely gotta start doing that again. It's not that hard. If it's only a weekly thing, fine, but it's not that hard to do something once a week. That's what this is supposed to be, Should it be that hard to do 1 hour-long podcast once a week? Joe Rogan, if you've ever watched him, he always just says, just do it. Just do it every day. Just keep doing it. And it's like, I listen to that. Listen, even before him, Kevin Smith, who I liked his podcast before it became like private. But, you gotta love Joe Rogan keeping it free. And he's just like, do it. Change your life. And like, hopefully this changes my life, honestly. That's what I hope. I hope it changes my life. I hope I change my life. Maybe it's not just this. Maybe this is just the thing I'll anchor it to. I'll anchor to this hope. This is a hope mobile over here. Hope that this takes me somewhere. Hope I take myself somewhere with this. It'd be cool to meet people, connect with people. I've never been very connected to the internet community. I guess I never tried to spend too much time online communities, but that would be cool if somebody watches my stuff, reaches out, networks, and we can, people, like other things and connect to communities that way. It's like, I've never really done that, but I would love to learn. It's like, nothing wrong with learning. I hope there's nothing wrong with learning. I hope there's nothing wrong with learning after all this time. But we'll see, man. We will freaking see. So definitely want to try doing open mics again. I'm going to try to get in shape. I always try to just do it the elliptical. Elliptical is easy. It's low impact. I'm a pretty heavy set guy. I always figure if I try to run around, I might trip my ankle and that'll fuck me up. But I haven't even started with elliptical. So just got to start slowly. And then who knows, maybe I can add some. I always say to my friend that I'll try to add in muscular workouts and shit into the routine. But I got to get some routine started first off, I don't know. What is that? Oh, it's just a snapshot. Oh. Yeah, and I guess this setup's pretty... I don't know, it's fine for now. I guess I'll have to reset the timer on the projector, because now the projector thing is gone. God. I guess this is very haphazard introduction. I should have had things more planned. But I was supposed to start on April 1st and didn't do it for the same reason. And now that I finally got the cojones or the stupidity to just started without having a plan, hopefully, maybe, if anybody watches this and if anybody wants to get better, give me comments. Tell me what you want to know. I'll try to answer questions to myself or something. Until then, until there's some kind of engagement, then hopefully I'll just try to make it better. Try to make my goals more concrete, more focused. Try to make the presentation better. I was experimenting with flipping the camera on this. What is this? On this Note 22. So I just flipped the camera. So then if I maybe I'll have the camera flipped to like a desktop showing you something, commenting on a video or something. Maybe a drawing, blah, blah, blah. Who the fuck knows? Podcast shouldn't be that, it's supposed to be raw. It's about authenticity. It's about, it's about being open. I guess, which is why I've been saying a lot about myself. Not much else you need to know. I mean, like I said, if there's any kind of interest, then just let me know. What else should I say this first day? I still got 15 minutes left. Don't want to be a retard who just keeps... I mean, I hope this I don't get canceled, but try to stop. If that bothers people, then I'll try to curb the language. But being a comedian, I guess I've always loved the idea of free speech. And, if that's just in my lexicon because that's how I grew up. And that was a word that, it's not even towards a certain... I mean, people with towards a certain, I guess, behavior. And I guess that behavior is associated with people now. And then you don't want to... Not trying to be mean to those people, but I mean, I don't know. They're just words that mean things. So it's like, I could just say like acting dumb, and then someone's going to say dumb. You're dumb against dumb people. It's like, I don't know. I'm not against anybody. I wouldn't say I'm against anybody outside of the rich. Who knows? Or the 1%. That old chestnut. That old. Never really been political. Try to watch news, breaking points. Try to watch that. Feel like it's a progressive news independent. Every time I watch the regular news, it just seems intentionally vague and meandering. And like, it's crazy that that's even like, I mean, I guess they get their money injected from advertisement, so that's how they get afloat. But it's like, who the fuck watches news? Maybe it's because I'm such on the low tier of social existence that like, maybe if I was in the circles of prosperity, I'd be talking about things that the mainstream talk about. And in that sense, being on the outskirts of my life, I guess part of me when I lost that job, I felt like I was fortunate. I mean, I knew friends who had jobs, who worked 10, 12 hours in engineering jobs, and they're doing great now. Wonderful. And I'm happy for them, all of them. And yeah, it's like maybe if I stayed in that job, I would just be like rich. But then again, it's like I never wanted it. And a part of me, I probably would have never quit the job. Probably would have kept doing it. But I guess in a small sense, I'm glad that I lost it because it frees me up to try to find a path. Maybe create a path, hopefully. So we'll see. I mean, I keep watching these videos about YouTube creation, just keep consistent, not just YouTube, just anything, just keep, I mean, I guess it comes down to what my brother says, just keep making things, just keep creating things, and it's like, just keep doing it. The little engine that could. Finding Nemo, just keep swimming, that shit. I don't know. And as much as my brother doesn't want me to, like, I don't think I'll be able to keep myself from making movie references. I watched a lot of movies, not that it makes me better at making movies, because that's definitely got to get into making movies. But definitely consumed a lot of movies for that idea. Not even for that idea. I want to make movies. I've been wanting to make movies. And I love watching movies. I love consuming movies. So I don't think I can take that out of me, as much as it's so stupid to make a movie reference. Whatever, it is very alienating sometimes. And people just look at you like, what? Especially the people I interact with are like a generation younger than me. It's weird. It's like being a generation younger and older. There's very few people who are like in my mid-30s range. Those people who are in the mid-30s are probably more established jobs. But it's very odd. Anywho. Yeah, don't think I can stop the movie references if it comes to me. At least in here, I mean, fuck, I'm free to say whatever I want here, right? Right? Can't I? Uh, am I allowed? Can I please? Yeah, I'll give myself permission to do so. It'd be funny if my sister just like listening to me the whole time outside the door. Probably not. This is maybe this is maybe stupid to her. Nah, she's very supportive. Try to be supportive towards her. Try to be supportive towards everybody. So maybe it's time to be supportive toward myself. Yeah, might do some kind of. Maybe Amazon has a doorway towards a possible mechatronics certification, which would be very interesting if they could. They said they pay for it, but I wonder if I can even do it. I wonder if they pay for it up front, and then even if I stop working for Amazon, if I can still stay in it. That would be awesome. Because honestly, I would not want to keep working for Amazon for a year. Honestly, if I can't find anything else, not that bad. It'd be stuck in the routine. I do feel it exhausting me physically, not mentally, just exhausting me physically. It's just labor, and like it's crazy that I'm still in that arrogant anger where it's like I went to school to avoid this, but and you can't blame maybe you can't blame the economy, and it's like it's not even an original story in like America anyway, or even in globally. It's like this is not the generation where it's just going to school is enough. You got to do a lot of things, and it's like I wish I knew that. I guess maybe I didn't know that, or maybe I knew it, but like thought that degree was a foregone conclusion to a good life. But whatever. And like I said, my life's not bad because I'm not living on the street. I could be. I have parents that are. I mean, maybe people say it's pathetic, but like I'm living at home. I'm very blessed. Don't believe in God. Agnostic, if I'm gonna say that now. In one way or another, it's like but I guess I'm very fortunate to have parents that are taking care of me, letting me stay in their place, stay in their house. It's like they worked hard, they worked for this house, and they are allowing me to stay here. And I guess good that I'm not a horrible son where, would be so disgraceful or so on their bad grace. Not that there's anybody in our family like that to like not be allowed to stay with them, but they're so generous that they are letting me stay here. So I'm lucky about that, and that's hard to come by, I would say. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a social person, but like for that to be like, you got to have good parents for that. Some people don't give a shit about their kids, or and so it's like, I'm glad I have parents that care about me as their kid. So, gotta work with that. If that's an advantage of mine, I guess just use it. Use it to help me. It's like, where would I be if I was living on the street? It's like, would I have to like struggle to get what I want? Maybe I do. I need to struggle. Maybe I should act like I am. Who knows? I always think sometimes maybe I'll just eventually try to. It's like I'm trying to find the bottom before I can get out of it. This is a pretty good bottom as far as what I thought my life would be. So if this is the bottom, let me try to get towards the top now. Repeat myself for the millionth time. So, we're going to see where this goes. And maybe we'll work on the lighting in the future. To give a little taste of the other options, we got... Oh, wait. That's just making things brighter. Okay. We got here. Oh. For angry. For rants. Not sure what this one's for. Ooh, for Earth Day. When I'm feeling like I'm blue, when I'm sad. Not sure what this would be. This is the default, I suppose. Oh, because the person I admire a lot, his favorite color is purple. So, and I admire her, the way she lives her life. Very open, very passionate, very inspiring. I'm almost the antithesis of that in how I've lived up in there, and I don't mind saying that meeting that person changed my life. People could say for the bad, but I would say any kind of change or any change in you yourself, any reflection of things that you didn't even know that you wanted for yourself, or that you aspire, that you can admire in other people, that are something that's outside of yourself, that you can admire, that you can be in awe of. I think that's a good thing. So, that person changed my life, I would say. More on that later maybe, but like for now, just keep that to myself. That's just something that a personal change that hopefully I'll take with me. I do take with me, always in the back of my mind, but in the forefront of the mind. Gonna try to change this life, Reg. Reggie! What are you biting? Reggie! Don't do it. Don't lick your boot hole. This is what I don't like you. Look at my face. Just look in your butthole. Just look in your butthole. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, Reg. Should I say in closing, Reg? Well, this was not as hard as I thought. I mean, there were some lulls, I suppose. Maybe I should plan it out more. What do you think? What do you think, people? So I gotta do my taxes, catch up with my taxes. I gotta make this web series that I've been trying to make for a while. Maybe a comic book, maybe a web comic. So many things, so many possible things to just do stuff. And it's like, do it then. It's like, I love anime, love movies, love TV shows, love comedy. Can funnel them into something. Let's do it, Reg. Let's freaking do it. What the heck, Reg? Reggie! Don't you do it, Reg. It's not a treat. Hey! Hey! Don't even think about it. But any hoozle boozle. Oh yeah, did I mention, I think I always get tangent. The reason why I decided to keep it as heavy breathing as the name of this podcast is, I guess, because this first episode is maybe a good reference that, maybe I'm feeling like it's hard to breathe in life, or maybe even physically hard for me to breathe in life because I've gotten so big, or just because it's so, these thoughts in my head are heavy, and it's just like I gotta keep moving, gotta keep breathing, gotta keep living, man. Gotta keep living. Don't want it to be always this deep. Just want it to be fun. Want it to be progressive, productive, and hopefully a passion thing of mine. If anything, hey, if productivity is a passion, I gotta get passionate. Gotta practice that, Reg. Okay? And maybe I just left him here so I could just distract myself by doing that, huh? Distract myself by doing that. So, we're approaching the 1 hour mark. And, I will be here next Friday to have another episode of Heavy Breathing. And thank you for listening, if you are listening out there. Hope you have a good week. Good luck to you and all your endeavors. And I will insert a catchphrase when I think of one. guess just keep breathing. Nah, that's stupid. Fuck that one. That was so stupid. I think maybe just a sigh could be my sign off. All right. Goodbye.